Hey YouTube. So I haven't made a video in a while. I've been riding the motorcycle all summer long, haven't had any mechanical issues out of it at all. The one thing that I'm not happy about with this motorcycle is the quality of the sound system. Basically, if you turn the volume on the stereo more than halfway up, its loudness or its ability starts to distort, garble, and sounds god-awful. You basically have to just keep it turned halfway up or lower. So I decided I was going to go ahead and try and start replacing the speakers first, see how that went. At the local stereo shop, we picked up these for 45 bucks over the counter, and I popped them in, and the difference was really impressive. The speakers were not any louder, but because they have a tweeter built onto them, they actually help clear up the distortion coming from the front and even drown out the back a little bit. So I went shopping on Amazon, and I came up with a set of 6-inch subwoofers, a Kenwood amp, small one, and 2 Boss mid-range speakers for the back existing speakers as replacements. Simply because what comes on the bike are 4 mid-range speakers, and you don't really ever get any tweeter or bass. You just kind of get blurry both. So I made a couple of videos already that did not work out. I got a new camera from the girlfriend, and it's just not recording sound and things like that. So I'd actually made a video before I started, and so this one's going to kind of cover that, why I'm doing this, and how far I've gotten so far. Somebody posted a comment to me about another video, said you should show your work, so this time I'm going to try to show you some of the work. Okay, the pocket speakers on the bike, 4 Phillips screws to remove them from the bike, and then 4 to get the speaker out of the pocket itself. Basically, it's all hand driver, a P2 4-inch Phillips screwdriver, and a P2 stubby, and these are already off and open. There's one screw underneath the front of the pocket here that if you try to use a standard 4-inch P2 screwdriver, you wind up hitting the pocket's front. And so rather than scuff it, you just use a little stubby to get in there, and you can get that screw out no problem. 2 are around the sides here, and 1 comes in from the trunk here. Take those 4 screws out, the plastic pocket comes off. Then, once you have it off, you flip it over. You got the 4 screw patterns at the corners of the speaker. You take those off, the front of the pocket opens. I have the wood grain kit that's not really allowing me to get all the way in there, but the new speakers just fell right in place. The bolt pattern lines up perfectly. There'll be no problem to go ahead and put that together when I'm ready to close that up. So, putting that aside, here's what I've got so far. I've done pretty much all of the wiring. If you've seen my other videos, I've moved the fuse box to dead center and made room to clear out this space of the trunk wall as well as this one, so that I can put the 2 6-inch subwoofers right up against the back of it. You see I've already put the fuse in. I jumped it right from the load side of the relay, and I have the wire going across the bottom to where I'm going to put the amplifier, the Kenwood. I'm just going to hang it right on the wall here. I could put it in the right saddlebag, but I use the right saddlebag every day when I ride. I don't want to put it in the left saddlebag because it has to be removed for rear end service, brakes, tires, things like that. So I'm going to keep it in here, and I'm eventually going to try to build some kind of a shelter that hides all of this hardware and protects it from the stuff that I put in and out of the trunk on a daily basis. What I've got is only 1 set of speaker wires per each side, and that's these factory plugs here. So I'm going to trim them out, and I'm going to double splice them to the different sets of RCA cables that I'm going to need to support 4 channels. 4 channels are going to come out through these wires, and they're going to hit the 2 subwoofers in the trunk and the 2 pocket speakers on the outside of the trunk. My fear of this is that even with two 6-inch speakers, they're going to be really muffled. They're not going to give me great sound. So I've traced, maybe you can see it better on this side, I've traced the shape of the speaker, and I think I'm just going to perforate the back panel here to let sound out a little bit better. Yes, it's going to bounce right off the cushion of the back seat, but you can only do what you can only do. So that's about it for right now. I use different colors of wires, and I've marked them so that I know which one is which at all times. So what I've got is this red one, okay, and I've brought both pairs over here already, but these are basically my line in from the bike's head unit for both sides, right and left, and that's those two. And then I've got the speaker wires from here, or they're over here rather, going to the trunk pockets. The wires for the subwoofer are going to be, local to right here, so they're just going to come off the subwoofer or the subwoofers when I've got them installed and in place. But everything is marked. All the wiring has been cleaned up, tucked in. This stuff will eventually be out of the way once I'm done drilling. And that's about it for right now. I'll keep you posted, let you know how it turns out. So good luck, happy riding, and take care.